I don't want to throw a dog in the deep end. I want to start where they can manage their emotions, right? And how do I know that dogs manage their emotions? Of course, I'm reading the dog in front of me, right? Like I'm paying attention. I'm reading his body language, reading his cues, making sure that, he's got like, comfort exhibited, right? That's the first place, right? Because if he's already stressed out, like he's not learning in that environment. So the training environment that I like to start with every dog is the one that's the least stressful for the dog, right? And I say that really specifically at the end because just because it's least stressful for you doesn't mean that it's least stressful for your dog, right? I had a client recently whose dog was stressed out being on slick floors, right? Mm-hmm. I walked him in the first floor of my house. It's all, polished concrete. And he went, "Oh, this is stressful for me." Right. So we tossed him out in the club training space. Right. And he did much, much better. But did even better just outside on my property in grass. Right. And so like, I always want to start where the dog is least affected by the environment, where the environment's the least amount distracting, where the environment's the least amount stressful for the animal. Like that's where I want to start over and over again. Now, am I going to end there? Of course not. I'm going to curate that environment as the dog's fluency with behaviors build, right? As I am generalizing behavior, right? And making sure that the dog sits at home as easy as he does down the block, as easy as he does at Starbucks, right? Like I'm going to adjust that as the dog builds competency and fluency in the exhibition of his behaviors. Mm-hmm. But in the beginning, especially, I want to be as least like stressful a situation for the dog as I possibly can be, right? I want to be proactive and setting him up for success, which means he's got to be comfortable. A stressed out mind can't learn. Mm-hmm. At least it doesn't learn effectively, right? But when we are comfortable, man, do we learn really, really well. So that's where I want to start every time in the training environment is the least amount of stress possible.